can hear me, but I hope. I don't know if I'll use the whole 3 minutes. I'm excited to see everybody here. We were here earlier today with the. Here?
5 minutes.
Oh, 5. Sorry. I'm gonna use 5 minutes. It was great. It's a great day, and as anybody come out to the beach, was a lot of fun this morning. The SOBA did that. It was fantastic. I'm glad y'all are doing this today. It's a lot of fun. This is the part where you talk about what you did, what we plan to do. I tell you that we're in the middle of a lot of major plans that we've started recently that are going to really make a lot of difference. I think that you've been reading about them in regards to Surfside Shores sewer project that we're excited about. The money there, we're in the middle of the project to finish up the water plan. We've probably spent $3 million on the water system in the last 5 years, bringing up in recovery money from Mike, and are really close to making it a superior system. We're excited about it, and so close that everything's begun. There's no way to stop it now, which is great, because they find a way to stop and take that money and stop these things from happening. We've got a bunch of trails that are coming that we're just dealing with engineers and architects now. We got archaeologists, and we're excited that going down Surf, going up to the fort, and some changes up by the boat ramp. We're excited about that. One thing I do want to mention about the way the city is right now, I have been back in a full term plus 6 months, and the staff that we have now is superior to probably any that we've had in the 17 odd years that I've been in the mayorship. I'm excited about every position and the quality of the people work with. This is an unpaid position, being mayor, and you only are as good as the people you have around you and working for you. And between the public works and the police chief, who's on his phone, probably saved a few lives in here as it is. I see faces of people that he's helped every day with the EMS service that we have. This is a quality operation for a city this size, both in the city administration, in the police, and the public works. And I'm proud that all these guys work for me, and then they work for you, and that we get things done. I'm sorry about all the recent rains. We are luckier than Houston, but it's draining off. We've got projects, we've got letters out about some problem areas we found. The drainage district and the county will be out here to fix a few of those problems. But all in all, I'm excited about where we are, where we're going, and what we've been able to do with you, and keeping the taxes down low, and keeping the budget in line, and being fiscally responsible. Something I consider very important. I know everybody thinks I'm a tightwad, but we get everything done, we pay our bills. And I'm the honored to be your mayor for 2 more years. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Mayor Candidate Bob Petty.
Well, I can't talk for 5 minutes about myself either. I'm Bob Petty. I live at 750 Blue Water Highway. Been in Surfside for around 2002. Instead of spending a bunch of time, Mr. Bates just mentioned that there's been about $2 or $3 billion spent on the water system in the last several years. And what I want to do is educate you on what I have educated myself on and why I'm running for mayor, is because I think that we definitely have a difference of opinion on how to handle this water situation. This is the aquifer that's set in Texas. There's only one that runs through here with the Gulf Coast, one in yellow. If you look over here to red, this is Missouri County. That's where we're located on this particular map. This is the trouble spots for arsenic in the state of Texas. You see, docs, we're not the only unfortunate people, they're everywhere. But here's the story of it. Y'all can come up and look at this later. There's a dot right here which is under Surfside. Well, people say, well, arsenic. Well, why do we have it? Well, we have it because it's naturally occurring underneath the city. And it has, ever since the existence of the earth, and it's going to continue until we're all gone, it'll still be here. The Zoria Water Authority. Everybody goes for it. That's the big deal I'm talking about. That's what we have to have. There's only one solution, and I'm going to prove it to you today as we speak now. They deliver water to Angleton, Missouri, Clue Creek, North Lake Jackson, Oyster Creek, Ridgewood, 2 Texas prisons. Everybody's wondering, well, why do they have this magic water? It's very simple. They do not get it out of the aquifer. They get it out of the Missouri River. That's where the water comes from. None are drilled by wells. Galveston, all that area, same thing. They get their water from the Missouri River. That's why they don't have the water problems that we have today in our city. All the mayors and council for all these other cities voted a long time ago to join it. It's the right decision. Surfside's been 17 years without it. There's about 72,000 people that they are housing water to at this point in time. Clinton Prison alone has 2,250 people, and they have clean drinking water. I think Surfside deserves the same thing, and we need it now. Another 2 years away is too long. If you look at the green areas, it's highlighted. These are all the cities we talked about, all the areas. The red is us. We're the only community out here that's been left behind. These aren't something I'm making up. These are facts. You can do your homework. You can study it. You'll have the same results that I'm telling you here today in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Petty. That's all of the mayoral candidates that are here today. Again, Mary Robinson is not able to come, she's sick. And we'll move on to Alderman. And I think it's time to get a change up here. Marissa, would you like to come down? This is Marissa.
Unfortunately. I'm Marissa McMinn. I have been born and raised here in Surfside since forever. I went away to school at Texas State in San Marcos, and I studied business and public relations. And it inspired me to start something here, so I opened up a small business there on the corner. You might know what I'm talking about. I love this city. I love the people that live here. I love that there's so many quirks and things that make people come back every year and choose to live here. And I was only away for a couple of years, but I got back here as soon as I could. I want to do whatever I can to help sorry, I'm a little nervous. I want to do whatever I can to help the community and listen to your concerns and address them however I can. And I love being involved, and so in new projects, and this is my way of getting involved and being a part of everything. So I look forward to hopefully getting your vote.
Our next.
No, we can hear you.
You can usually hear me now. Again, Kelly Nix will not be able to be here today, so our second last candidate for council is Troy McMinn.
Can y'all hear me? My name is Troy McMinn. I've been on council off and on for about 20 years. Lived here in Surfside since 1981. Raised my kids here, had family here, still live here. I've invested in Surfside. I love this town. It's so unique. It gets more unique as the years go by. I have the Hotel and RV Park next door, and then the corner property at the light. And then we've got some rental properties here in Surfside. So we interact with tourists and new people that have never seen this island pretty much on a daily basis. So it keeps it fresh for us to see new people and their concerns and what they think about the town and what we need to work on. I appreciate having that kind of insight for people that come to this town, because those of us that live here a long time don't always see things that new people see. So I would appreciate your vote and your support. And basically, you know, there's lots of things that we do in City Council. The main thing is to facilitate and listen to you guys and move forward with decisions that we can make to better this town. Everything from infrastructure to roads to water to drainage to erosion, mosquitoes, all of it. It's just what we do on council, and I would appreciate your support, and I'm always available if you need me at any time. You can usually find me somewhere on this island any day. Thank you.
Well, that is all of the candidates giving their opening remarks. The next portion of this presentation will be questions from the audience. Each person may ask one question, ask it of anyone that you want, and we'll have 3 minutes to reply. And we will do that part of it, and then we will move on to the final section of it. So, who wants to start with a question?
Can we have a mic here, or do you want us to walk up there?
Can y'all hear me?
Can y'all hear us sitting right here?
Yes.
That would be fair.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So we'll pass it on.
This question is probably rather, I'm wasting a question, but maybe not. I don't know. A lot of other people might not know. What positions are coming up on city council? 1, 2, 3, how many?
All right, there's mayor, there's only one.
Well, yeah, I know that, but city
And
council,
city council did 2.
2. Okay.
Next year, there'll be 3 council.
That's what, yeah. Okay.
Replacing,
Who's not, who's?
Lizzie.
You?
Lizzie?
Okay.
She chose not.
She's not running. Lizzie's
She's
not
not
running.
running.
No, ma'am.
My question is a follow on her question. Is that one question per audience member for the afternoon, or one question per candidate from an audience member?
That's your question, Brooks.
I know.
The rule said 1 question per person. Now, if you jump up and down and do some kind of crazy dance or something, we'll see. Let's let everybody have a chance to ask a question. And then you can ask it if you want to, after everyone who's had a chance. Yes, sir.
I have a question for Larry. You were talking about special projects, and you specifically mentioned Surfside Shores.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
the sewers, or the sewers plan. What's going to be the hookup fee to the homeowners over there, do you know?
The money, is this on? The money is coming through CDBG Community HUD, and there'll be a means test related to moderate. There'll be no hookup charge for moderate income families. If you saw recently where the council proposed using $130,000 of HUD money for assistance in the project, we have $800,000 through the county on Ike recovery funds from the housing. But the CDBG money is specifically to cover the cost for moderate to lower income, and it's a pretty high threshold. They're going to be doing a survey in the neighborhood this coming week to establish those people that qualify for that, and that we have a high enough number of people to be sure we can use that money there. The fee generally, when we do these projects to the city, it's $1,000 if you have a system, and $3,000 if you're building a new home. That money, that fee will be covered by HUD if you're a moderate or lower income. You don't have to be low income for it. And my memory, and it may have changed, it's gotten really high, is $45,000 for a family of 4 or something. Is moderate, you still qualify. So it's pretty high, pretty easy threshold. They will be surveying, and I think that there'll be a good percentage over there that could be covered with no fee related to it. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
And they're in the design phase right now. We've established the location of the pit. It's a gravity system. It's not the vacuum system that we got sold to build good on. That was the only way that the other side of Surfside be done. This is a gravity system that will go to a single pump station that will pump it through the pipeline under the bridge storage plant.
Who would like to ask a question?
I would. Bob, excuse me, you were on city council.
Answer.
Sorry?
I should have been doing this all along. Would you state your name?
Buzz Hodges, and I've been here since 1971. You were on city council and were with a group of people that all got elected kind of under the same conditions. Y'all were able to pick your own mayor. Why didn't y'all take care of the water issue when you had control of it?
Very good question. It's like anything in life. You learn more and more as you're involved. When I went into my first term in city council, it was my first time to ever be involved in a city in any aspect. And I learned I need to do my homework. I learned that I don't listen to other people's opinions, because if I listen to this guy and he tells me wrong and I don't go double check it and I don't study it, well, then I'm going to believe wrong all the time. And now that I'm older and more mature and a whole different person than I was many years ago, now I research everything that's told to me to verify and make sure that I'm making the right decision based on knowledge. Thank you.
Another question from someone.
Everybody raised their hand.
Yes, sir.
Michael Wilhelm, 210 Beach Drive. I love the beaches. This is why I'm here. And we have this wonderful rig that supposedly is going to be here to keep our beaches clean. In the last few years, beaches haven't been as pretty as I'd like for them to be. And I look at it today and I understand the rake was out there and did a magnificent job. And so this is a question for both of you guys running for mayor. Which one of you is committed to keeping our beaches clean every single day, every weekend, after people come here that enjoy it and really don't care, and we care? So would you both please answer and give us your level of commitment to keeping our beaches clean? Thank you.
I'll take it first. I, for sure, will do a better job than what's been done. I welcome any of y'all to drive through my park and look at every spot in there. There's not a weed on one of them. There's not a piece of trash on one of them. There's not a tree that's not trimmed. I believe in making things nice. You can tell by the way I live, and y'all drive by it every day. Go check it 365 days a year. Check our cabanas out there. Check a lot of different things out there. I promise you, you'll see a big difference. Just look at my establishment. Thank you.
One of the things we did a few years ago when I got back in was that I found that the term the beach cleanup into like 5 days a week, and there was nobody here on the weekends, and by the time Sunday night came, it was incredibly terrible. What we've done recently is that we have a crew of 3 guys that work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to empty the barrels, clean the trash, pick it up during the weekend while the people there on the early half of the day before it gets there. It's pretty amazing how people can even hit a trash can from 3 feet away and pile stuff up around it or near it and leave a mess. But with the machines we have and the equipment we have and the personnel we have, I think you do the best you can, and it's dirty for a little while because the people are there. You can't do it while they're there. I can tell you we've, with the chief, have been meeting about having more aggressive. I think some of y'all used to see Paul go around last year and sell the beach permits on the Kawasaki Beach Patrol. This year we're going to use a reserve police officer, and he's going to be writing tickets. She couldn't write tickets before. We're going to be doing first aid. We're going to be doing tickets. We're going to be doing bottle tickets. And we're taking an aggressive approach on the beach patrol because we have someone that is going to be perfect for the position. They're working on the vehicle right now, and I think you're going to see a marked difference in the presence And the quality, the lack of bottles, because we're putting up more signs and we're not gonna take it more. Paula wanted the authority to give tickets, but she didn't have the qualifications to do it. And she was a little different and aggressive, but she did give us the idea that she has the contacts, that that person has the contact and the ability to make a difference and make it easier for the beach to be cleaned when they're leaving.
Thank you. Okay, there's a question.
Dolly Deb, and I just, because I'm new here, I don't know if the city has a policy against relatives running for the council. No offense, honey. I'm just asking. Sometimes there's an nepotism
Just wait a
policy.
second, please. You get it? Okay. Sorry. Who was your question for?
Nepotism,
Nepotism.
yeah.
Now they could have a whole family of kids.
For the young man, for the young lady that's running.
He could.
Yes, Larry.
The nepotism in government relates to payment and supervision and funds. That they could have, in some places that way. In Quintana, it was for years, the husband and wife, one was the mayor, one was on council. Because it's an elected position and there's no funds involved or something like that, they could be 3 to 4 brothers and it wouldn't make a difference. It has to do with supervision and payment of nepotism.
Okay, it wouldn't affect rights.
No, not almost ever. Not unless you started a company, putting in water lines or something like that.
Thank you.
I saw another hand a minute ago.
Yes.
Sharon Ost for 19 Seashell. It's for Larry and Bob. Larry, I know you've been addressing on Facebook about the experimental walkover on Beach Drive at Pratt. I'm wondering how long that experiment is proposed to last, and are we going to get some more walkovers? Are we going to have anything that's ADA for the people that need that? Because I'm just waiting. I see people slip on those rocks all the time. I can't get over it without help, and I'm wondering, why do we want to wait till somebody really does get hurt? Because, I mean, you can't get to the beach on that kind of wall.
As far
I'd
as
like to know if Bob's going to do anything if he becomes mayor.
well, he
What you
answered first
propose.
that's not, so I'll tell you where we are. That walkover, according to Joe, is illegal, okay? They said absolutely, you will not, you cannot, and you won't. There's no sand, the engineer said there's no sand to be placed in between there, which we did first, and there will be no structures attached to it. So we did that one to see if they would sue us, which is their option, and they were wise enough not to. They did leave the handrail up on one side as a test to see if people needed it off for them to bring boards across there. They were supposed to fix it today. I don't know if they did or not. D-Rail said they were going to finish it. They have 2 more that I've released to them to do. It's the through streets. I think it would be Angel. Let's see, that one's in the crowd. There's 2 other streets, and if I guess the names would be wrong, but they're the streets that go through to Fort Velasco. So there's going to be 2 more of them. We have the funds to do an ADA, one like the one at Well, is it Well dealer? Yes, Well at Texas, because when they designed it, they made enough space for it, and along with one that we have got permission from the county to do from the county park down the beach, are also one of the problems that we're having is getting people to do them that aren't busy. You know what I'm saying? So yes, we are doing 2 more there, and that one's supposed to have been fixed today. And I say test because it was more of a legal test than anything else. We knew it was necessary, needed.
Well, could we not at least have sand for the summer? I mean, something so people can get over it?
We have plenty of sand. We can dump the sand over there. The truck, we have to do it so frequently, but where the streets go through to Fort Velasco, which seems to be a major thoroughfare, we can't cover the whole thing in sand.
I mean, it's such a safety issue.
Oh, I know that. I mean, Chief knows. I mean, the number of times he's had to deal with people with ankles and wrists. Ankles. And the whole thing probably not, because they see that one of the problems having it dries and blows on the road, and it's like having a dune within 6
No,
inches.
just at the intersections, just so there's some place for people to
We
go
could do that.
to get over.
We could do that. We could do that this coming week. It might obstruct us from being able to do the permanent ones, but it's not a problem at all. And I think, I haven't been down there the last few days, but with the full tide, it probably worked out anything that we had near those places now. So, yeah.
As your mayor, we would not be even having discussions on walkovers. The cabanas. There's a better way to run a city. And we're looking at what has been done in the past. What happened last year? What happened the last month? Everything's being fixed today or tomorrow or the next day. It should have never been in that condition in the first place. And as your mayor, I will make sure that our assets to our city are kept up with. Because that's how you keep value for the assets that you have, is by keeping them up.
Can I ask one more question?
Certainly, sir.
Bob, I apologize, I'm not picking on you.
That's all right.
But I mean, you can do all kinds of things, but before you voted for, or were pushing for higher taxes, do all the amenities we get, does it come with higher taxes?
That's a good question. No, not all of them. We've spent about millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on wells that we have today that do not even produce water we can drink safely. So no, all of our tax money on raises don't only go for what you just mentioned. By the way, for those of you who don't know it, my personal home right there, I pay $38,000 plus taxes per year. $38,000 a year. So if I raise taxes, I don't take it lightly, because I'll be paying, I went through the budget today, I pay about 6.something% of the taxes that our city collects. So I don't raise taxes unless it's a necessity, because I will bear a big part of it. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Jackie Stevens, Beach Drive. My question is for Larry, and it's about Beach Drive, about the water that's coming in and taking from Texas back to the Jettyway. The water's taking all the beach out. Last year we had all that sand put in there that's now gone. There is no beach in front of my house, from Angel Wing, probably even Crab, to Texas. There is no beach. And there was talk about a groin to protect that area. I'm wondering where that project is.
It's about 30% design. These projects take an amazingly long time, but I'm excited that the GLO I can tell you, and Brooks knows also, 10 or 15 years ago, if you mentioned that kind of protection for Beach Drive, most of the people up there would be laughing. No hard structures, no rocks, no permanent, we'll just dump sand every now and then. These drawings are going to happen. When we raised the beach fee from, when they rolled it back to 8, we went, instead of going to 10, went to 12, was to create a capital matching fund for grants of nature related to what we're going to need, because the CEPRA grants are about 60% GLO and 40% local. We'll have to be able to match part of that. We've applied, I think if you saw on the agenda, the Restore Act that we're going after for matching grants. They're going to decide, and I think at some point we may be asking you guys out there to try to talk, send letters and emails to our new commissioner, George Bush. I think he's taken the right approach, it appears. He's not a cut and run guy. He believes in property rights, we think, and we think he's going to believe in the resiliency of the coast and hopefully help us know how small a community we are, and that this project is important for us. So at some point we'll be asking you guys to put the pressure on him when we know that it's going to have to be approved at the next phase. But it's going to happen. I think it could be as soon as 2 years, probably too. And with that comes the nourishment, and they may decide to do one instead of the other. And if they do one, I think they're doing the one in 332, which would trap the sand there. And I tell you what, from as long as this is taken, I'm excited about it. I couldn't believe when they actually designed it, and we have pictures of it, and we have costs. It's just a matter of, if we get the Restore commitment, I think that the GLO will move rapidly, because the money will be there for it.
Yes.
I've got a question. This past fall, I a fungus infection and E. coli infection in my mango ridge. Coincidentally, maybe it was the same time we had bad water. So and water's important to me. I have an RO system in my home. And I understand that a lot of the restaurants here don't always use use filtered water. They just get it from the pumps or whatever, or they use their own filters. Good water is important to me. But if we're talking about water, one thing is more important than the other. But I want to know, if we go to the BWA, or whatever it's called, how much more will it cost? Probably, I'll estimate how much more it will cost if we don't get that, rather than using our bad well water.
I want to say something about E. coli. E. coli doesn't come from BWA water, it doesn't come from our well water, it comes from distribution. We've never had distributed E. coli at any house, it's never been tested in any water in Surfside.
What about that boiled water effect?
The boiled water notice is related to low chlorination, and it's a precaution. We have never, in any of the boiled water notices, tested for a bacterium that would cause you any problem. It's a precaution. When we say boiled water, it means the chlorine level has dropped below the safe level, and if E. coli was exposed to water, there wouldn't be enough chlorine in there to protect you. It doesn't matter if you have BWA water or Surfside well water. That doesn't affect, the problem is in distribution and the loss of pressure. It didn't make any difference. And to address the question of the arsenic, the arsenic levels in all 3 wells that are pumping now are below the EPA standards. There is no arsenic warnings on any of the wells we have here. Surfside Shores was recently turned off for the expansion there. There's no detectable arsenic in the new well that's 500 feet deep at Surfside Shores. And when the elevated wellhead and the pressure pump and the generator get in place and all that is on there, this will be an issue that will be on this.
Larry just talked about the well being 545 feet, is that correct? Well, they did one over here on Yucca, went down 535 feet. I remember Larry and Pete, all of them tasted the waters. Man, this is great, this is going to be our answer. There's no arsenic in it. Well, a couple weeks later, guess what happened? They capped the well and didn't use it because the arsenic level got too high. This is what I'm telling you, and when he tells you the arsenic level, if it is correct, that'd be about the first time that this has happened since 2002 that we haven't been on an arsenic notice. You people get your mail. Water department sends you a notice every month about the water. So I don't know what to tell you. It's in there, or they wouldn't be sending you the notices.
Neither one answered my question though.
The
So
cost
how
of
much
it.
more would it cost if we went with BWA?
Well, what I'm being told from me going over there and talking to Jeff Hines, they would sell us the water at the same rate that their citizens pay for it, or it could be a couple pennies higher if they would go to an outer city contract versus if he could get it to an inner city. The negotiations would be preferably to get it inner city, so we pay the same price. But for the future of Surfside, there's no way to not go over and work out a deal with them that works for both cities and benefits both parties, and we are once and for all